Hello. I thought I'd record this because I'm just gonna tell Tristan about string theory, and I thought you might be interested. Is that different than what you thought? We're gonna guitar. So Tristan's picked a guitar up, and it's not this, right? So this is my string theory, right? So basically, every person in the universe, let's say right, has got an energy, a frequency, right, that vibrates and resonates at a certain tone. So if we take a string, right, yeah, it plays a certain tune, doesn't it? I'm not even saying that this is in tune. This is not even. I've just picked this up, right, just to give an example. So each string creates a different tone, yeah? So if you're one string, but if you think we've got billions of strings, yeah, it's quite a big instrument, isn't it? The earth,
Yeah.
right, the heart, and all, it's the frequency it vibrates at. But then again, if you take a couple, right, take a couple of strings, yeah, and say if I'm vibrating at a, yeah, and say a partner is vibrating at, yeah, then together you vibrate at, yeah, which is a totally different sound, but it's still you two in tune, whatever frequency you're supposed to be. Now this is a bass one. Now if you think, just take this, there's 21 sections on here, 23, and if you think that these frets, right, what something else that it means when you're fretting, have you heard that phrase? If somebody's fretting,
Does that mean that they're scaring people and telling them something that happened?
that's frightening, which is maybe, I don't know, slightly different variation. But fretting, if you say somebody's fretting, no, they're worried, right? They're fretting, they're scared, right? They're scared, they're fretting, right? I don't know whether that's just a Yorkshire thing or what, but if somebody's fretting about something, then, or even, threatening, right? Threatening, TH and F. It's the frequency, right? So if you imagine that the frets are different emotional states, and when you are resonating your vibration as your emotional state, I suppose if it's tight, if you're feeling the pressure, right, and you're right up here, right, that reminded me of that really tall, thin one out of Sesame Street. It's alright. But, if you're down here, you might be feeling low. But it's learning to play your own tune, and you can play. So you pick one string. You pick yourself a string. You're a string, right? This is a 6-string guitar, but you're one string. So first off, pick yourself a string, and that's you. And just play your own tune. And then what you'll find is that once you learn to play your own tune, I'm not saying that's a properly good, you can then add in other people's. But unless you learn to play your own frequency first, no matter how many other strings you try and play with, or how many other instruments you try and play with, it's not gonna sound quite right, and then it's not gonna feel quite right, because the frequency and the energy and the vibration is not in tune. Now, if you think about an orchestra, anybody who plays a musical instrument, and everybody should learn a musical instrument, myself included. I always wanted to learn the guitar and the piano, and I started a little bit.
I want to learn woodwind.
You already play, but again, the wood, the wind instruments, the string, all playing together, right?
That sounds like a nice instrument.
But if you think about the wind, what other types is there? There's wind. No, I mean there's wind, brass, and if you think of them,
strings, which is violin.
I've just had a right. Each category of instrument is a different race of people on Earth. Yeah. So, if say like, you know, the people of certain descendants, let's say, because you know everybody's got something different to offer, right? You know, colour, dimension, size, well, whatever. Everybody's got something to offer. Say one's a wind section at orchestra, say one's a string, say one's brass, and there must be some code to understanding that. I'll probably work on that. But everybody's a different area. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? Where am I going with this? Tell me.
You're saying that there's different races in the world, and each different instrument plays a different sound. So each different race has a different frequency.
Each person has their frequency, but first.
But each race has their own class.
Yeah, everybody's trying to tune everybody else in to play their frequency, but you don't do that because it's just dull. It's just dull sound, right?
There won't be any excitement in that, won't there?
Well, because it's got you're absolutely right, because we're all about a varying, you know.
Because if you've got all one sound in an orchestra, if they're all playing guitar, then it wouldn't really be an orchestra, wouldn't it? It'd just be a band.
If they were all playing the same, from the same hymn sheet, so to speak, it would just be noise. It would just be like white noise, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't be music, it would just be blunt, it would just be the same.
Like static.
Yeah.
Right? But the key to it, because we've raced ahead, right? The technology and everything else, right? But also emotions, and we've been fretting about stuff and the pressure. First, what do you have to do? You have to find your frequency, and then you have to be comfortable in every little section of yourself. I'm not saying you have to get it perfect. Well, next, get it. Oops, didn't mean to do that. See, it happens. Just roll with it, right? But then, and only then, when you've got yours and you're you're feeling it, then you can add another one in. And you can connect with another one, and before you know it, you're then starting to play a nice tune between yous, and then it grows, and then you bring in the woodwind. Welcome, bring your tune, bring your instrument, and come in, and then bring the brass. Right? Everybody can join in, because, and I've left saying God till this point, because I think and believe that God just loves a really good tune, right? It really does. He, not a conductor. A conductor is a con, right?
Because he's in charge of everyone.
Yeah, but he's not really, because that's a lie. He's not in charge of the instruments.
Yeah, because they've all got their little sheets, haven't they, in front of them that they play off.
Well, they have, but if you take that orchestra example and you raise it up, right, to a spiritual level, then we're the instruments. We're the strings, right? The nations or the descendants are the strings. The instruments, sections, families are instruments. The instruments of a well-founded society is community, right? So communities are the instruments, people are the strings, the different sections of the orchestra of the nations of different descendants. God is the dude playing it all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other comments? I suppose we should really learn to play an instrument, really, shouldn't we? I always feel like going, we are wild stallions! Right. So in that tone, right, be excellent to each other and
Rock on, dudes.
party on, dudes. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, leave your thoughts, leave your comments. All right. Thank you.